Imagine waking up in the dead of night. You hear the faintest sound, a whisper, a scraping noise, something that shouldn't be there. It's almost as if something is watching you from the darkness, waiting for the moment to strike. What if that something was the Rake? The Rake is no ordinary creature. It's not just another urban legend or myth whispered around campfires. No, the Rake is something far darker. A true nightmare born from the shadows. With its pale skeletal body, sharp claws, and eyes that gleam with malevolent hunger, the Rake stalks its victims in silence. It moves like a shadow, its very presence a mark of impending doom. Its name is fitting. The Rake doesn't just haunt, it hunts. And when you encounter it, your nightmare is only just beginning. The exact origins of the Rake remain shrouded in mystery, but its legend has spread rapidly across the internet. First appearing in an anonymous post in 2005, the Rake's story was shared as part of a creepypasta, a short horror story intended to send shivers down the spine of readers. In the story, the Rake is described as a humanoid figure, unnervingly tall and thin, with skin so pale it almost glows in the dark. Its claws are long and jagged, capable of tearing through flesh with terrifying ease. But what truly sets the Rake apart is its eyes, dark, soulless pits that stare into you with an intensity that feels like they're carving into your soul. The creature is said to appear in your darkest moments, often in the dead of night, when you're at your most vulnerable. And once it finds you, it will never stop hunting. The Rake is often described as grotesque and unnatural. It's thin, unnervingly tall, with limbs that seem to stretch and elongate at impossible angles. Its body is almost insect-like, emaciated, with jagged bones jutting out from its flesh. Its skin, pale and grayish, seems to shift in darkness, sometimes smooth, sometimes almost like it's decaying. And then there are its eyes, dark, empty voids that seem to absorb the light around them. They watch you, unblinking, tracking your every move. Some who've encountered the Rake report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread and unease, as though it knows your every fear and is waiting for the right moment to strike. The Rake does not speak. It does not scream. It is the embodiment of silent terror, always watching, always waiting, its presence felt before it's seen. The Rake is not bound by traditional rules. It is said to roam the darkness of the night, creeping through forests, abandoned buildings, and even the quiet corners of our own homes. Its territory is the shadows, the places where the light barely touches. Some say the Rake hunts people who are alone, particularly those who are in a deep sleep. It feeds off their fear, growing stronger the more terrified they become. And once it has marked you as its prey, it will not stop until it has claimed you. It has been reported in remote rural areas, deep woods, and abandoned places. Its sightings are often accompanied by reports of night terrors, strange noises at night, and feelings of being watched. Victims often describe the same experience. They wake up in the dark, paralyzed with fear, unable to move as the Rake slowly inches closer, its cold eyes locking onto theirs. The Rake is known to terrorize its victims in the dead of night, often leaving them with disturbing memories and physical marks. Scratches, bruises, and deep wounds are commonly found after an encounter with the creature. But it's the mental scars that are the most terrifying. The overwhelming feeling of dread, and a constant sensation of being watched that lingers long after the Rake has left. There are chilling accounts from people who claim to have survived encounters with the Rake. One victim recalls waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of scratching at their window. They looked out into the darkness, and there, standing just beyond the glass, were the glowing eyes of the Rake, watching them intently. Another account speaks of a family in a remote cabin who heard strange sounds at night. At first, they thought it was just the wind, but the sounds grew louder, closer, until they realized someone or something was scraping at their door. When they opened it, there was nothing. Just the faintest sound of breathing from the shadows. The rake had been there. One of the most disturbing aspects of the rake is not just its physical appearance, but the psychological toll it takes on its victims. The rake doesn't just haunt you physically, it haunts your mind. People who have encountered it report feeling a profound sense of dread long after the creature is gone. It's said that the rake feeds on fear, that the more frightened you become, the stronger it grows. The longer it watches you, the more it sinks into your mind, planting the seeds of terror that will continue to haunt you. It's not just a creature that stalks the night, it's a psychological predator, slowly driving its victims to madness. But why does the rake hunt? What drives it? Some believe the rake is driven by an insatiable hunger, a thirst for fear, and a need to feed off the terror it instills. It is said that it doesn't kill immediately, it toys with its victims, feeding off the anticipation, the fear of the unknown. Others suggest that the rake is a vengeful spirit, a creature born from the darkest parts of our collective nightmares. Perhaps it's not just a creature. Maybe it's the manifestation of our deepest fears, taking shape and form to hunt us down. Like many urban legends, the rake has evolved since its first appearance in the online horror community. What was once a simple internet myth has become a creature of modern folklore, passed from one person to the next, growing stronger with every telling. It's more than just a monster. It's become a symbol of the dread and paranoia that we all face. The idea that there's something out there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The more we talk about it, the more real it becomes. So how do you survive if the rake comes for you? How do you escape the creepy night stalker who follows you from the darkness? The truth is, there's no easy answer. Many victims of the rake claim they didn't see it until it was too late. But some suggest that if you can stay awake, if you can keep your mind strong, the rake may not be able to feed off your fear. Others recommend staying in well-lit areas or surrounding yourself with others because the rake seems to prefer solitary victims. But perhaps the most important advice? Don't look into its eyes. The rake is a creature of nightmares, born from the deepest recesses of our fears. It's a shadow that stalks the darkness, feeding on those too vulnerable to escape. Once it finds you, it never forgets. And as the legend of the rake continues to grow, remember this. You may never see it coming, but when you hear that scratching noise in the dark, know that it's already too late. Others recommend staying in well-lit areas or surrounding yourself with others